Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show once again. I'm glad to see everybody here today. Who do we got? We got Cliff Higson, Polly Taylor, Terry Barnes, commentator auditor, Team Kruger, what's up? Chelsea May, Alan Eyes, and let's see. Anyone else I didn't mention in here? No, it looks like that covers just about everybody. So welcome. Welcome once again to Breakfast with Hezokuai, the morning show that's got them all over. I got the I got the Frauditor fans on the run, man. My comment section has been going. Salacious, welcome. Good to see you. Always good to see you in here. Um, anyway, yeah. So these guys have it's pretty cool. Like I said the other day when I noticed my comments started getting more and more the pro frauditor people popping in, that it looks like at least they're noticing me, which is a good thing, in the sense that we're getting the message out there. Um, I don't know. I every morning I wake up and I read new comments, and of course, obviously, I love it. When I get good comments, but the bad comments, I actually really like reading those because it blows my mind to see how the supporters of these idiots like get so mad when you point out the stupid things they do. And these guys are making a difference, man. What? What kind of a difference? They're making change. What kind of change? They're making it harder to film in public because cops want to stop these idiots from being stupid. Oh man, it's delusional beyond. What's up, Sam? I am welcome. So anyway, this morning I wanted to start with something. Hopefully, this is going to be a good one because you know that these idiots like to do a lot of clickbait type titles. And I didn't watch this one yet, so I don't know. But it's called "Arrested Right After Filing an Internal Affairs Complaint in Kenner, Louisiana, First Amendment Audit." So I thought we'd start from that, and a little potluck. Um, to see, hopefully it'll be another arrest video and not just some stupid clickbait. So let's check that out and see what's going on with this one. I've been looking for a good arrest video for a while now. So, like I said, based on the title, hopefully this will be one of them. And I want to watch this together. So let's check it out.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Good. I'm just taking a look around. Did you need to inspect the bag or?
Yeah,
I'm just an independent journalist that's got a little content for a story. This is the temporary city hall?
yeah.
Okay.
You probably gonna have to speak to somebody to look around.
I'm just an independent journalist.
What's that?
I'm an independent journalist.
Okay.
Just got a little content for a story. So why is that?
No.
So I can't come in
for
city
safety
hall?
reasons, no.
For safety
Yeah,
reasons.
independent
Is
journalist.
it a policy?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not a law.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't come in this building to film right now.
What happens if I come in?
I'm telling you, you can't.
Okay, who are you?
I'm a police officer.
I know, but can you
security for
identify-
this building.
Can you identify yourself? I mean, what's your name? What's your position?
My name's Officer Glazer, Kenner
Okay.
Police.
What, you have a badge number?
I do.
Okay, so you're
542.
okay. So you're telling me I can't come film in a public location?
Right now, yes, we're holding court.
Okay, so it's a courthouse then.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So that's what I was asking her if it was City Hall. So it's because it's a
It's
courthouse.
both.
Okay, so where's the courtroom? Is it on one side or the other?
Can you turn your camera off for me?
No thanks.
Step outside there.
Okay. What if I don't?
Step outside.
So what if I don't?
I'm gonna call someone here and you're gonna be arrested for not following my directions.
Okay, so I'm gonna be arrested if I don't leave.
Yeah, you
Okay,
will be.
I'll leave under threat of arrest then.
That was Friday. The following Wednesday, I went to the Kenner Police Department complex to file my complaint on Officer Glazik. So I walk into the Kenner Police Department complex, file my internal affairs complaint. I went to do a public records request. I walk around the publicly accessible areas of the building. I walk outside, and I'm arrested shortly thereafter.
Okay, you want to follow me?
I didn't even get to that. You go back. I'm
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I just want to see, where do I put an officer complaint in?
I'm sorry, say it again.
An officer complaint?
Okay. Did the incident happen in Kenner?
It happened at the temporary city hall at Macy's.
Okay. Go ahead and and have a seat.
Okay.
And they call the officers off of patrol, so let me get the.
Well, can I talk to IA? Is that who I talk to?
Is it about an officer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's your name?
Lana?
Hello.
No, LANA.
Okay, let me give you the form.
Okay.
Go ahead and fill this out, and then once you do that.
Sorry. People are asking the name, and I actually forgot. The J-Town Press. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen this one, but again, I saw the arrested on there, so I'm like, oh, maybe this is a nice arrest video. I haven't seen a good arrest video in a while. Like I said, I haven't watched this one yet, so I don't know, and I don't know who this J-Town Press is. 567 subscribers, so they must be new. Seems like they got the script down pretty well, that's for sure, though.
Um,
Do you have a pen I can borrow by chance that I can sit down with? Now, how you say it? Joella? Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure I pronounce it right. I hate butchering people's names.
Jody.
How was that?
Jody.
Jody, okay. Nice to meet you, Jody.
Okay, so, and then once you finish that, let me, when you're getting close,
Okay.
let me know and I'll call upstairs and see if there's anybody there that can come down and talk.
All right, thank you so much. You don't happen to have a one of those clipboards? Just yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Somebody waiting to speak with somebody in the term.
It's kind of, I have a lot of redactions in there, but I didn't know if I could fill out another one. That way it's nice and clean.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, just so you can read it easier. So unless that's good for you. Okay.
No, this is fine, I understand.
Okay. I know my chicken scratch right on a board here is kind of hard sometimes.
And did you already fill out the form for the public information request?
Is it under your understanding that I mean, it's a public area, City Hall, is that correct? So I should be allowed in there?
Yes.
Okay. Whether or not I'm recording or not, correct? I mean, it is a public,
building. Yeah.
right, it's a city, like if I'm recording right this instant in a public lobby.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking to go in the courtrooms. I was just asking to go in City Hall. So, and,
That's yours.
oh, actually it was your front hall. I just held on to it in case we needed it, so.
It is you, she's talking.
Oh, me. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, thank you so much.
¿Ah? ¿Una lista? Sí, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm recording you?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So typically it takes, maybe 60 days or the week investigation is filed.
Okay.
I don't anticipate this taking 60 days, but I know I have a few things that are ahead of you.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
And
I'll email you this like as soon as I leave here or
Okay.
thereabouts.
let me make sure my email address is, yes.
Okay. And I'll email it directly to you. Okay.
cbates@kennerpd.com.
cbates, okay, at kenner.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have any questions.
No, I'm gonna go right over here and do a public records
Okay.
request. Is this where you do it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have any questions, then feel free to call.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Have a nice day. Hey, can I do a public records request?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have a form to fill out or?
How do you, is it a report? from-
No, actually, the officer that I just did a complaint for,
Uh-huh.
his badge is 542. I want to get his personnel file, all his history,
I don't know.
and I want to get his salary
You might have to go through
through somebody else.
the lady that you just spoke with.
Oh,
Did you
should I-
ask her?
No, I just told her I figured it would just be a
How
regular.
about I give you her number? Did she give
She
you
gave me her
contact
card.
info?
Yeah, I also want to get this camera up here. I want to get this footage for the time that I was here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's all public,
Yeah, I think you got to go through her on all of that.
on all of
We
it.
do like the police report,
Okay.
but especially since. it's-
So IA would handle public records requests for.
I believe so.
So IA would handle public records requests for. Okay. That's kind of weird.
Police may help you. Okay, so I think that's gonna.
Is there a form that I can fill out that I can hand? What's that?
If it doesn't go through her, she's gonna be able to find out who, because,
I can't fill something out and give it to you and then, no?
no, because I don't have it. I don't have any kind of form for that.
I mean, usually what the law says, what federal law says that I can fill it out on a sheet of paper.
Well, yeah, for a report,
No, for public records. What's that?
we have that.
Do you have a
Let me
supervisor
call
available?
my supervisor.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Thanks.
She's away from her desk, but I got them telling her to come up here as soon as she gets back. So if you want to just have a seat.
Certainly.
Thanks. Go ahead and call the lady you were talking
Okay. Because that's just kind of weird. I've done 1,000 public records requests, and that's,
like I said, I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't been here that long, but
oh, I gotcha. Usually I just do it, you know.
Police report, but I've never been asked for something like that.
Yeah, it's a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, so.
I'm away from my boss.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, she said you do need to talk to Sergeant Bates.
Okay. And who is your supervisor?
Margarita Diaz.
Diaz. Okay.
Um,
And what's her position?
records.
Records. Okay.
I tried to call her and she's
Okay.
not answering her phone, so she may be at lunch.
Okay.
But you said you have her card?
Yes.
Yeah, so just give her a call,
Okay.
and just let her know,
Okay.
you know, what you want.
All right. Thank you. That's no problem. Yeah. Nothing out here. That's
Thank you. I
Hey, how's it going?
appreciate that very much. Thank you very much.
No, I'm still looking around. Still looking around. Thank you. Oh, wow.
Not much. I am back. This idiot just apparently is a newbie frauditor. They only got a couple hundred subs. I picked this video. I haven't seen it yet. It just said I get arrested in the title. So I thought, oh, maybe we have a good arrest video here. And now this frauditor's just walking around, filming everything as always. This right here is, they keep pointing out, well, there's no sign saying that I can't be up here or this or that or the other. But once again, since when is somebody walking around and walking into offices and just rambling through a building normal? Like, and yeah, I could see why this person has like no subs or views, because there's nothing in the video, barely even any narration. It's like nothing. I wasn't trying to put you guys back to sleep, but like I said, I didn't watch this video beforehand. I didn't know it was so empty. The title has big capital letters, arrested. Look at that, see? Arrest. Like it's a big thing. So I thought, oh, this is going to be an exciting one. Nothing. Who is this? Boring audits?
Police road, the radio room, authorized personnel only, communications personnel only.
This is journalism, independent journalism at its finest. Thank you very much, Potluck.
See any restrictions? Access signs.
Holy crap! Seriously, is this it?
That's right. Thank you.
Wow. This Frauditor's editing is atrocious as well. Like Peck mentioned, though, this the office does actually look pretty cool. Very nice building.
Two button does not work. So time to go down. We definitely need a. Oh, it's so cold in there. My glasses are fogging up.
What is this? Man.
I told you, I'm in kindergarten, right? I was right next to the airport.
Where's the journalism?
Right, I understand.
You know, at least, proper signage. Oh boy.
Running out of gas right here,
Okay,
and there's a situation in CBD. I'm trying to get to my friend.
sure.
Oh, give me some money for gas.
One.
Oh gosh. Do you have a Sam's Club membership? Okay.
My parents probably. I think my parents probably still do. But
Because it is a Sam's Club. I'm not from the area, so
okay.
yeah, I'm not really sure. I know there's a Sam's Club there.
Offer you on the job.
What's that? Oh, I'm not a police officer.
All right,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I'm not
Cool,
a cop.
That's
Yeah,
even better. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm not a cop. Yeah, so I'm with the press. So
We're okay. Awesome.
I'm with the
Are you
press.
heading anywhere right now? or
no,
not?
I'm actually looking to look at the police cars right now.
Okay. Cool.
I don't have a vehicle, so
Who watches the watchers? Like,
right, that's me.
yeah, awesome.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Y'all not fucking
Yeah.
people.
record the police.
Yeah.
So
Always.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would.
Full disclosure, whatever. Families 2 weeks ago, she went on a Tinder date. Person had sex against her will.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever. I'm having actual cash in my hand. I'm not good with fucking digital shit and everything.
Are you
What
are you
the-
okay other than running out of gas? I'm sorry.
You just in the building?
Was that where we're at?
Is this gonna blow up? Are you in the building?
Was I where? What building?
This one.
I may be.
You may be?
Yeah, I may have been.
Okay. You have a pass?
A pass? What kind of a pass?
An access pass to get through the building.
I don't have any access pass on me.
Okay. What was the purpose of you being in the
I'm a journalist, so I was filling out a complaint with IA on an officer.
Okay. And did they tell you to go see somebody? I'm just trying to figure out why you on the secure floor.
I literally was going to publicly accessible areas. So anywhere that there was no signage and told me I couldn't be there or any unlocked doors, and that's where I went. So just checking out, just taking a tour of a public building. So I'm a reporter,
we saw
independent journalist. Yeah,
we saw you go through an area where you were supposed to be able to have to buzz through.
I literally, if there was no signage on there and the door was unlocked, yeah, I went in. So
I'm just checking to see.
Yeah, I'm fine.
If you were in the building and what was if you were visiting internal affairs?
Yep, that's who I was
Good to
with.
go.
Yep,
All
you
right.
can ask the lady at the
we'll
front
just have
desk. Her name was Jody or Joella.
Yeah, she did say that you were here and that you were supposed to be, you were going to see somebody.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out who you were going to see. She didn't tell me who you were going to see.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just checking out your police cars, checking
not a
out
problem.
the public,
I'm
Anywhere
just
the
gonna have to
public's
go
allowed.
get that, figure out why that door wasn't, why that secure
watch
door
out.
wasn't secure. So,
Yep.
all right,
All right, have a good one. What was your name, sir?
Detective Whiter,
Detective White. Do you have a badge number?
3786.
Thank you so much.
But wait, there's more.
Cool. 242. I guess I found a. That's cool. That's cool.
So what?
Uh-oh. Got a lot of stuff in there.
Uh-oh. There's stuff in the car. Look out. That's newsworthy. Telling you, another Pulitzer Prize winner right here. Oh my goodness. Now this is journalism. That's right. Thought you were done with your business. You looked at the building, you filmed everything. So you should leave now, right? Nah.
Good, you?
Pretty good. Need your identification, please?
For what?
Because you were just in our building that was controlled access, the entire building.
Okay.
So, the identification?
Did I break a law?
Yeah, you entered our building that you weren't allowed in.
Well, there was no restricted access.
There is
signs.
restricted access. It's
There
all,
was no-
it's all card.
Anywhere I went to, it was all there was no
Ma'am, you were in the
signage.
entire floor. To get up there, you have to have controlled access.
I literally walked in. It's all on video.
Okay, how
There
did you
was
get
no,
through
there
the-
was no signage. There was nothing. I literally hit the button. That's
Hit
it.
what button?
On the elevator. So I literally hit the floor. There was no signage. There was
Hit
no
what
nothing.
floor?
What's
What
that?
floor did you go to? That's all controlled.
I don't remember.
To get into the elevators, you have to have an access card.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, I can't help that your elevator. There's no signage. There's nothing that says that I can't access it. Trust me.
is.
I looked. No, there's not.
This is controlled access.
Can you show me?
Okay? See your identification.
Well, if I didn't break a law, then I'm
You did break the law. You came
What
into
law?
controlled access.
Can you articulate a law that I broke?
Ma'am, please don't do
I'm
this.
not. Trust me. I
Okay?
do this for a living.
I know you do.
So
I know you do.
tell me what I did
Okay?
that I broke a
Okay,
law.
you access our building, took photographs of confidential information inside the building.
Okay, I didn't break any laws. So you need
Okay.
signage or you need some
You have
kind of keyed access.
identification on you.
I do have
Okay,
identification.
can I have your identification?
If you can articulate a law that I broke, then I'll be happy
You
to
have
give
been
it to you.
detained, okay? 'Cause
Okay,
you were
so
in our
now I'm
building.
detained.
Yes, you're detained.
Okay.
You're
What,
legally detained.
so what crime
What
did I
state are you
commit?
from? Because evidently you don't understand Louisiana law. You have been legally detained because you were inside our building. So we have the right to access you, ask you information, and get your information from you. Okay?
No, that's wrong.
That is true.
I have
That is-
to commit a crime.
You do not have to be
Yes.
commit a crime. You have to be suspicion, which you were inside a building.
So is
which
that a
controlled
suspicion, a
access.
misdemeanor, or felony?
Ma'am, there's no such thing. Okay, give me your identification, please.
For what?
Go ahead and detain her.
You just told me I'm
You're
detained. I'm not going
You're
anywhere.
physically being detained.
Okay. I'm just asking you what law I broke. That's it. You can't act. It's clipped in the front.
Can you want to unclip that?
Wow.
Don't turn it off.
How
It's in the front.
anticlimactic.
It's in the front. The clip is in the front.
So he turns the GoPro off. Next clip is inside the jail when the officer turns my GoPro on and then turns it immediately back off. But you can see me in the background. I was illegally detained and then arrested for over 10 hours. Not one employee could tell me why I was arrested the entire time I was in custody, even though I asked multiple times. So just over a week later, I get a call from my attorney that says my confiscated GoPro is ready to pick up. So I headed straight down there promptly. Hey. Yep, I'm here to see a detective Dealing. I'm not sure how you say his name.
Okay, your name?
Lonnie.
Lonnie.
I'm here to pick up my property.
Okay, he knows you're coming?
Yes. I was just told to come down and pick up my property.
All right.
And I have the property item number if you need it.
How are you? Fine. Busy.
You have an appointment with him now?
No, they said come down and pick it up.
You might not be able to.
Okay. I was originally supposed to speak to Jim Delvin, but he's actually out today. So they told me to talk to Detective. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher his name.
This is so nothing.
What's his name? Cunningham? Okay, thank you.
Oh, here we go. Hopefully
You
something.
Detective Cunningham?
No, I'm Detective Whiter.
Okay.
And what was your name, sir?
Detective Whiter,
Detective White. Do you have a badge number?
3786.
Did you need the property ID or my ID or anything? Okay.
Nope, I recognize you.
Okay.
Case, strap,
Okay.
device,
Okay.
card.
Okay. And y'all didn't delete anything off here?
Did not.
Okay. And do you need my signature for it?
I do, right
Okay.
here.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, so that's that. Well, now I understand why this newbie Frauditor has very little, if almost no attention, because there's nothing there. That was absolutely pointless on so many levels. I was all excited. They put arrested really big in the title with a bunch of exclamation points. I'm like, oh, this is going to be one of those videos. All right. And this was just more of, well, you just saw it. It's just like, yeah, okay. Oh, I guess they're going to arrest me now. Okay. What's up, Lady Dragonblood? I haven't seen you in a minute. So anyway, that was that. Pretty anticlimactic video, but at least we got to see something a little different for once. But this also, well, I guess this isn't a positive note, but you missed most of it. You didn't miss anything. You missed an idiot walking around, filming a bunch of nothing, and not even doing any commentary or anything really. And then the cops came out and arrested the frauditor for, being an idiot. And, and then they got released and filmed themselves going back to pick up their camera that was put in the evidence locker, and that's it. So any frauditor arrest is a good arrest. That's right. Speaking of which, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Peck, I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know. Um, it could be a it could have been a woman with a mannish voice. It could have been a man that was, I don't know. I don't want to cross that line, and then because especially nowadays, everybody gets way triggered if you say anything about that, and it's like, well, I'm not trying to say anything about that. I'm just saying based on the video and the voice and everything, uh, mannish woman or a womanish man or just a woman with a slightly deeper voice or a man with a high. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Hey, Florida Jim. Um, but so yeah, that was that video. So whatever. But anyway, the point to me is that this is just showing once again how this whole thing is spreading. How more and more of these idiots are going out there and trying to do this. Uh, uh, that's it's disheartening sometimes to see that more and more people are doing this garbage, nonsense, stupidity. Getting what did I just click on? Oh, haha. Sorry, I'm trying to pull something up and I ended up clicking on a video of this the stream. Like, wait a minute. And let me go back because while that was on, I did get a couple of super chats, so I wanted to go ahead and respond to those directly. We got go buy yourself Marlowe and some old style at the Rock Island Public House. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid back in the late 70s, early 80s, growing up in Chicago, we used to play this game with old style cans where everyone would always say, "Find the owl, man. Find the owl." Because I guess on the old style logo, well, I don't guess, I know because I saw it. There was like there's all these pictures of all this stuff on an old style can, especially back then. And there was a tiny little owl standing on the corner of like it's like a shield kind of design over the words old style. And there was a tiny little owl standing on the corner. And it was always a game, especially after having a couple old styles, to try and find the owl. Where is it, man? So that was always fun back in the old days. Old style was a pretty standard practice back then. And then I got $4.99 for potluck. Very soon you won't be able to see the walls for signage in every establishment. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I get that, what you're saying, because I'm assuming you're saying because of the way that they act when it comes to looking for the more walls to be built so that they create privacy. It's not my job to create your privacy, it's your job. Well, right, that's what I'm doing. I'm creating my privacy by telling you to get out. That's one of the lines, one of the standard lines that absolutely makes me crazy. That they always, they always say the same things, and it's like they don't even barely know how to English. Like Radical always says, right? These people don't even know how to English. They're always talking mad trash, and they don't know what they're talking about. And complaining about signs, complaining about no signs. Like in that video we just watched. Like, well, I didn't go into any areas where there were signs. In the areas I went, there were no signs. And if there were signs, I don't know. Obviously, again, a newbie frauditor, still learning the ropes. Unfortunately, um, doing it, but not doing it well. That's for sure. Do I live in Lake County? Not right now. I'm originally from Cook. I'm from Chicago, like legitimately in the city. Um, I used to live right down the street from Midway Airport. I mean, like I used to walk to the Midway Airport or to Midway Airport. I'd be able to walk there. And then I got a job in Lake County, so I lived out there for a while. And then I got a job in Wisconsin, so I moved there. And right now, like literally at this moment, I'm in Florida. Um, but yeah, I've been in Cook. I've been in McHenry. I never lived there, but I've been there a lot. You know, growing up in the city, I was always doing my Chicago thing over by there. You know, hanging out in the city, watching them Bears games, the Bears, and having a lot of fun. You know, my favorite part was when I used to get together with my family over by there, and we'd count. There'd be 1, 2, 3 over by the Jules. You know, I live in Northbrook for 12 years. My dad was born in Chicago. Yep, the Bears. Yeah, that's right. We got preseasons going on. The Bears are undefeated at the preseason so far, so I've been having fun with watching those games. I have a Bears character that I do to review the games. And if you go back in my old videos, you'll see I used to do it every game, and I think this year I'm going to go back to that. But I don't know if I'm going to keep putting those on this channel or if I want to maybe start a new channel just for my Bears stuff. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm a fugitive from California, like Chili's a fugitive from everything. Mm. Oh, there you go. From Southwest Florida. Well, here's what I'm trying to do. Kind of. I'm not, you know, getting extremely deep into it, but I'm looking into. There's this guy called a frauditor called Cammed Up Caveman, and I've noticed that a lot of the videos he posts are from areas that I know, like right there. Like I'll be watching one of his videos and be like, wait a minute, that stuff, that street he's at, that's right there. Oh man, this so whoever Cammed Up Caveman is, the area where he's doing his frauditing is around where I'm at right now because I keep recognizing the places he's at. So I want to try and find him while he's doing an audit, a fraudit, and contact him and try to, have a video where I'm actually flipping the script on one of these guys. I always wanted to do that. And now that I know that he's in this area, I'm thinking, I'd like to accidentally run into that guy. That'd be great. The problem is, excuse me, the problem is they don't announce where they're going to be before they go, right? So I keep kind of going back to his channel to see if he's doing a live stream. Like, where's he doing his live? Oh, he's doing it from there. I know where that is. I'm going to go over there. Yes, that's it. Well, that's my thing, right? Like, you get these guys doing that stuff, and people always hold something up in front of the camera to try and block them, and then, oh wait, did I just give away? Look, it's nothing good. All right, it's stupid. My kids got so mad when I gave them these, and they're like, "There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of nonsense." These are the McDonald's ones that they're giving in the Happy Meals right now. I figure probably no one cares about that, but my kids are like so happy that they're doing that at McDonald's now. Yeah, that's right, Pack. You're like, no, it's my kids. It's my kids' cards. I swear. Cammed Up Caveman is from Zephyr Hills. Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, I know where that is. I may be a nerd, but I'm not a Pokemon nerd. Yeah, you don't even know. Yeah. Here's the thing with that. my kids love it. Like, they go nuts. It's everywhere. Um, that's their favorite thing. Um, so, I got a bunch of Pokemon stuff laying around the house, and it don't bother me because I admit when the first original Pokemon games came out, I had fun playing those games, they're pretty good stuff. And the newest one is, I was watching my son play it, and yeah, they buy and sell their cards and make a lot of money. But the new one looks really, really good. Like, I'm watching him play the new game. It's called Legends of Arceus, and it's like this open world RPG game. Almost like a World of Warcraft kind of thing, except you're catching Pokemon instead of you get in fights, but you get in fights with Pokemon. So yeah, if you want, I'll help with Caveman. I'm not far from Zephyr Hills. Yeah, yeah. My email address is on my page. If you want to contact me, and let me know if you got anything that could help me out. Maybe we could get some really interesting footage. That would be so fun. Instead of getting together like the Frauditors do to audit something, we could get together to audit a Frauditor. That would be great. I'd have so much fun. Because that guy hates cops really bad. Really bad. And like the other day, he was out there filming a cop talking to a little kid, and then the cop was, giving him, why are you filming a little kid? He's like, I'm not, I'm filming you. He's like, but I'm talking to a little kid, you're filming the kid. And became this whole big thing, and now he's going to file a complaint against that cop, of course, and the lawsuits and the nonsense, and trying to get off that stupid little scooter. That would be awesome. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Definitely drop me an email. We'll see. Maybe we can work something out. Anyway, let's see if we got any other newer videos we could look at together real quick. Let's see what's been going on. All right, I've already seen most of these. Uh-oh. All right, there's another one I haven't seen yet. I have no idea if it's any good, but it's a new one from CH&TY Audits. So let's they always have something interesting to look at. So let's take a look at what these idiots are up to now. I thought they were going to be off for a few minutes after Craig got arrested and all that. But let's see. All right. All right, but before we start that, I just want to go back through the chat a little bit because I have noticed we got some more people joining us. Miss Mandy's here. Always good to see you. She showed up at both my streams yesterday. Always a good fan. Always glad to see you. Let's see. Who didn't I talk about earlier? We got Captain Happy, Violet Wings. Welcome. Edward Catalier, Florida Man, commentator, author, yep. Kiss Cat, Frank Beard. Yeah, hello, welcome everyone. Good to see y'all up in here again. And yeah, it looks like CH&TY just posted this yesterday. It looks like. Let me double check that. 23 hours ago. Yeah. So let's see what these idiots are up to now.
I've also got a constitutional right as an individual.
Yes.
To say when I'm recorded and when I'm not.
No.
Correct?
No. The Constitution has no thing in it, no provision that says you have the right to be free from being recorded. No.
All right, everybody. CH&TY Audits here. In this video, CH was in Grant County, in a small city called Marion. I ran into some problems in the courthouse, and I took a little bit of a different approach today. Some tyrants were willing to lend me an ear, so hopefully we helped them change a little bit and all that. But otherwise, everybody enjoy the video. As I said, it's a little bit different.
He just ignored the no cell phone sign on the window, just completely walked right past it. Oh, and there's another one. No cell phones are allowed in the courthouse. No exceptions in bold.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah. What's up with this no cell phone sign here?
There's no cell phones in the courthouse.
Says who?
Says the judges of the courthouse.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So that's not the law then?
Judges of this courthouse.
I get you, brother. Right. So the judges, they get to set rules for like their courtroom, but they don't get to set rules for county buildings unless it's rules for the employees. You know, county employees have to follow policies and rules.
Are you going to give me a dissertation, or are you asking a question?
I think it's quite comical that this mindless order follower is asking me if I'm asking him something. He can't think for himself, and he doesn't think that we should be able to think for ourselves either. The judge said something, and in his mind, that's the law.
Oh, I'm going to tell you that there are cell phones allowed in this building. Is this the room where the courtrooms are on, or are the courtrooms up there?
Yeah, all the courtrooms. There's a courtroom here. There's a courtroom on every floor.
There's a courtroom on every floor. Okay. What courtroom is this on this floor?
Juvenile.
Juvenile court. Okay. There's a courtroom on every floor. All right. So where is the courtroom on this floor?
Right there.
Right there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is court in session right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not my job to know.
Okay. Right. I mean, it should be, because there's the only reason why court or why a cell phone wouldn't be allowed is if court was in session. Like, that's the law. It's called Rule 2.17. No audio or video recording devices are allowed in the courtroom or in the areas immediately adjacent to the courtroom while court is in session or while court is in recess between sessions. That's what the law says. So if we could find out if court's in session, because if not, I'm going to legally enter this courthouse. And if you guys stop me, that's going to be a big civil rights violation. Do you want to do that today?
Call Captain David.
Yeah.
Call Haley.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, step aside and let her.
Oh,
Come on out.
y'all could say please. You could not be rude. You know what I mean?
Come on out here. You can't have your cell phone in the building here.
There's no law that says that, man.
What? I'm just asking you.
I get you. Yeah, and I'm just politely telling
So
you.
you can't take it in the building. I mean, if you just want to stand there with your cell phone,
Right.
you can't go past him. So
Right. Unless court isn't in session, then I'm allowed to go. Like, if court's in session on this floor, then I wouldn't be allowed to go in. But if it's not in session, then I would be. That's the law.
well, you're going to have a problem and find out real soon if you don't want to change your ways.
I'm going to have a problem? What kind of problem?
Well,
No, I don't
standing
know.
there filming. I mean,
Yeah, practicing the First Amendment. That's real dangerous,
you
huh?
have to play it outside. We don't make these rules. The courts do. The judges do.
The Indiana State Legislature does. The judges don't just make rules for any county building that they decide to.
Okay, well.
Right, I get you, man. No, that's fine. Unless court's in session, if court's in session, then I'll follow the law. But unless I can get a confirmation.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all I do is follow the law, man. You guys just follow orders. I follow the law. There's a big difference. All right, buddy, you're dismissed.
What an asshole.
So how would one record an interaction with a public employee with these kind of rules? Because the Supreme Court ruled that we have the right to record every every public employee while they are in the course of their public duties. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand exactly.
Right.
And
So like, do we just enforce?
I take care of the entrance, and I can't physically go up. And
Are you with the sheriff? Sorry. Are you with the sheriff's department? You guys are. You're with the sheriff's department. Okay. So you're law enforcement, not judge's orders enforcement. Is that right?
I can't leave the entrance to find out where the court is in session, so you'll just hold on for a minute.
Right, I get you. Awesome. That'd be great, man. I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, so I just wanted to make a couple points real quick. First of all, it does look like this is an older video, and it's actually kind of funny to me for several reasons. One, you can tell a little bit that, like, if this is an older, because first of all, it doesn't make sense that he'd be uploading right now, right? Because we all know he got arrested and all that. I mean, he posted that, or Ty did. But it seems like he still wants to post stuff. If this really is an older video, it makes sense because one, you could see his style is different. Like, he's being somewhat passive aggressive in this video, but his normal style is to be way more blatant with his nonsense, and with his baiting these people. So one, that seems to indicate that it's an older video, the way he's acting. And two, but then again, it's still early in the video. We don't know how bad it's going to get. But two, if this is older, it's even funnier because when he did end up getting in trouble, it was because he was fooling around in a courthouse. So it's like, hey, just the idea that the guy said, well, someday, something's going to happen to you. If you keep it up, you'll see. And sure enough, that's exactly what ended up happening to him later on. Miss Mandy's saying this is a re-upload. And I absolutely do believe that. Let's see. He spent 5 days in jail on his very first audit. Yeah, these people are so dumb. And Craig is one of the most recent worst of the worst guys, man. Like, this dude's beyond stupidity. It's appalling how dumb he is.
He said he comes in, arrested. He said he comes in, arrested.
Sorry, could you say that a little louder for me? Could you say it louder?
So he's gonna send someone over, we can deal with it, and it's the judge's order, so.
Huh. So if I come in here, what's going to happen? You guys going to throw me in a cage?
Not us.
Not us. We're not going to.
Man, I'll tell you, if my coworker told me to hush, I would beat his ass.
It's awesome.
So basically, if I come in, you guys are going to arrest me, right?
Yes.
Is that
yes,
right?
Yes. Yes. Oh, that would be beautiful. It's always fun to watch Craig get arrested.
Honestly, I just want to know. We turn into like the British Royal Marine Guard here. We don't answer questions.
Why don't you come in and find out?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm done.
You're done? Okay. I get you, man. I get you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
All right. Well, I heard the dude threaten violence, so I think I'm just going to.
Didn't hear anybody threaten violence.
Oh, I did. I heard if he does something that's totally lawful, attack him and throw him in handcuffs.
Oh, man, you heard a whole lot then, because I never heard that.
You didn't hear arrest him?
I never heard what you just said.
Well,
Instead
it's
of
just my
attacking.
interpretation because I don't consent to arrest. So that would be battery because battery is unconsensual, offensive physical contact. Right. You don't care about the law, though. That's fine, man. I got you. So we got Mr. Roboto. All right, so domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
And I'll tell you what, too, for any of you who don't know,
we're just going to start the remediation process.
This is
right
not a. Hold on, let me.
How we doing?
I'm doing good. What are you guys?
Pause this. All right. For anyone who doesn't know the CH and TY story and the thing with Craig, he is like, a lot of times we speculate on some of these guys. With this guy, it's like a well-established known fact that he got busted for selling weed and his butt hurt for getting busted. And that's why he decided to become a frauditor, because he has, a beef with the cops for arresting him and he didn't like it. So we speculate a lot of times, like, what is this, a former criminal who's just mad at cops? Well, we know for a fact that this guy is. So, and he still is a criminal. But anyway, yeah. So there's no speculation when it comes to Craig. He's a criminal who's just mad at cops because he got caught. And that's why he does this.
What's up to? You're the same guy, right?
I am.
You were just in here. You're a new guy. Who are you, man?
Huh?
Who are you?
I'm the chief deputy.
You're the chief deputy, so you're like second in command over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's going on?
well, man, look, I'd like to actually have a conversation with you about this, right? Because like, why can't we just do it right here in this public building?
We can do it outside on the sidewalk, because you can't have a cell phone in here.
Okay, so if I stay in here with the cell phone, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if I stay in here with the cell phone? I just want to know.
Is this your
first day with a cell phone or something? What's the big deal with the cell phone? Why can't you just comply?
Right, comply with tyranny. I get you, man.
He's trying to talk to you in a civil way. Why do you have to make a big deal out of it?
Well, because the whole thing is, man, is I love freedom. I love the Constitution of the United States of America. Well, apparently not, because you don't know what the First Amendment to the Constitution
There's more rights
says.
than your cell phone, man.
I'm not.
You're not here to
you from recording out there.
You're just restricting where I can do it.
I'm just restricting
in public
to
areas.
this building.
I get you.
And that is not my rule. That is the rule of the judges.
Right, but you don't work for the judge, man.
Yes, we do.
No, you work for the sheriff. They're two different elected officials. There's the judiciary and there's the executive. Yeah, because you guys are the executive branch. You guys get to choose what's constitutional and not enforce what you think is unconstitutional.
Are you just having a bad day or something with your comprehending and listening to?
No, he just wants confrontation. That's all he wants.
I know.
Well, you guys are real smart. You're giving it to me.
I just
like my rights.
I'm
man.
just telling you, you can film anything you want outside.
Yeah.
You can film people coming in. You can do anything you want.
Right. So basically our constitutional rights stop here at the courthouse door. Is that right? Am I getting that right?
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
It's legal to carry a gun, correct?
Yes.
Is there places that is restricted from carrying a gun?
If a private property owner doesn't want you to carry a gun in their house, I guess not. But
Can
on
you
public
carry
property,
Can you carry it down at the state building?
you should be able to. It's our constitutional right.
That's not what I asked you. Can you legally?
Legally, I don't know. I mean, really, I don't know what the rules are with the state building. But on public property, it doesn't say your right to bear arms shall not be infringed unless the government thinks they should. You get how asinine that is? And do you know what the Second Amendment was put there for, dude?
Yeah, I know exactly.
It's to overthrow a tyrannical government. And could you imagine if the redcoats went around to people's houses and said, hey, man, look, you got a gun. We're going to have to take that. Like, look, you're carrying a gun out in public. We're going to have to take that, man. That's the most asinine thing ever. If you enforce that law, you're an unconstitutional tyrant, dude. There's no doubt about that. And if you enforce that you can't record in public areas, then you're violating the First Amendment.
Thank you very much, Miranda. I appreciate
And the Fourth
that.
Amendment.
That nobody can have a cell phone in the building.
Right. And there's no law that says that. There is one rule that says something about a courthouse and restricting your right to have an audio or video recording device in a courthouse. and that is in the courtroom or in the areas immediately adjacent to the courtroom while court is in session. It's Rule 2.17. That is the rule, man. I'm literally stating it to you. And that's the law, guys. I don't know if there's comprehension skills about, like, you're insulting my comprehension skills.
You're insulting the human race in general and human decency, respect, and every other emotion that any human could ever possibly have, especially empathy. Once again, I want to make sure it's clear. Thank you very much, Miranda. Hello, good morning, Hezokuai, and everyone. Hi. Hello to you, and thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. Peck made a really good point here. I wanted to share this because this is a big point that I always try to make. Like, if I'm driving down the street and I'm speeding, and I know I'm speeding, and I get pulled over, that's not the cop's fault. I was speeding. If you're doing something that's illegal and you get caught, now you may agree or disagree with the legislature's decision to make that particular action illegal or whatever, but you know it's against the law. So why are you going to hate the cops for catching you doing something that you know you're not supposed to do, and then dedicate the rest of your life to harassing cops with your camera, hiding behind a camera, using your camera as a shield? And these guys always, that's 90% of their thing, is using the camera as a shield. Nobody's going to mess with me when they know they're on camera. And if they even get close to trying to mess with me, I'm just going to pepper spray them or tase them. Why not? Because I have a camera, so I can do anything I want and the rules don't apply to me. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. All right. All right, let's get back to some more stupidity. Trying to use his old, and this, wait, real, and then the fact that these guys, and I always stress this, it's not just that they have a script that they follow, right? It's a very old standard basic con man technique of fast talking, over talking, talking in circles, word salad, all of that. And that's their whole style of what they do and how they it's a known fact, okay? If you research con man techniques at all and manipulation tactics, asking a question and then as the person you're asking the question to trying to formulate an answer in their head, asking another question to discombobulate their train of thought and get them to misspeak or say the wrong. That's a standard manipulation technique. That's a standard con man technique. And the top frauditors do that all the time. And that's what Craig's doing to these cops right now. It's despicable.
I know the law, pal. All right. I'm just asking that you guys respect my rights. I'm not trying to look.
To you, but he just
I get you. I get you. And I'm just asking you guys to respect my rights. You know, I'm not trying to insult you. You guys seem like good guys because you haven't like tried to attack me yet. But I'm just saying.
I'm not going to attack you, okay?
Okay.
That's what you would like for me to do.
Honestly, man, you think not? I'd like to, honestly, if you'd invite me into your office with a cell phone, I'd like to sit down and have an interview with you about what you think is constitutional, what you don't think is constitutional. But I don't like guys.
Well, see,
that,
here's the problem with that, okay? I'm going to be quite honest. I'm a tax-paying citizen, too.
Do you have a private business or something?
I am a taxpayer, just like you.
How so?
I pay taxes. I pay property tax. I pay income tax. I pay the same taxes you do.
But you receive taxes.
I receive taxes for a job that I do.
And then you
but I pay
give
taxes.
Some of the tax money back?
I pay taxes just like you do. Okay.
No, I produce stuff that the people are willing to pay for. I produce what's called ad space, sir. And so I produce that. People are willing to pay for that. And then I
provide a service which I'm paid to do.
I'm not willing to pay you though. It's not consensual. You receive my tax money.
So you don't pay taxes?
No, I do under threat of force.
Do you give me your tax money?
Not willingly. You guys threaten me.
Now, wait a second.
Okay.
Do you personally give me your tax money? Do
No,
you come
that's-
on Friday and hand me a check?
No, but I give
But
the
what I
state
am
money and
saying
I give the
is,
county money.
I have also got a constitutional right as an individual
Yes.
to say when I'm recorded and when I'm not.
No,
Correct?
no. The Constitution has no thing in it, no provision that
Now-
says you have the right to be free from being recorded.
Now, wait a second. I'm not talking about as a police officer.
No, I'm saying as a
talking
citizen.
As an individual.
Right. If you guys wanted to take your phones out and start recording me and I told you, don't record me, I don't like that. You guys could be like, look, if you don't like it, then leave. Get on out of here. And that's what the Constitution says, man. Because any restrictions of recording another individual while they're in public would be a violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Now, on private property, if I came to your house, you would be well within your rights and probably within your, just like your duties as a man who owns property to say, get off my property. I don't know you. I don't necessarily like you. So kick rocks, pal. This is my property. I'm the king of this castle. Get out of here. But this is our castle. This is all three of ours castle, this courthouse. Look, we have disagreements about taxes, but regardless, we all lay a claim to this public building, right? We all have rights while in this public building. You have a right as a police officer and as a human being. And so does he, and so do I.
So you don't think there should be any rules made?
Sorry, ladies.
You don't think any government building should have any rules whatsoever?
No,
Whatsoever.
look, as long as it's a constitutional rule, I've got no problem with it. But the Constitution provides for so much freedom, it's hard to make a rule that's constitutional while you're in public. Like maybe there's a rule like, I don't know, man. Like certainly the Fourth Amendment says you have the right to be secure in your persons, properties, houses, and effects. First Amendment right says you have a right to freedom of speech. So restricting any kind of speech would be ridiculous. It'd be restricting the freedom of the press, for recording devices, notes, and pen and paper.
So I'm going to be all over whatever website you have, correct?
I do it on YouTube. I'll give you the name of it if
you're
you'd
going
like.
to put me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want to be on YouTube, but
Right.
I don't
You
have
didn't
the.
even ask us, you know.
I don't have a right.
How rude.
I agree that if this was private property, no, I agree with him. If this was private property, it would be quite rude for me to invade your property and say, man, let me just get you on camera. But this is public property and you guys are public employees.
I'm not.
Right.
And I get that, but I should have the right, and you should have the right for not being put on something we don't want to be put on.
California has rules like that.
This was misleading. California is a two-party consent state, but only for private conversations. So even if this guy was in California, he would not be able to escape my camera.
California
has all kinds of rules.
I know. And I'm glad that you said that because we see these rules are it provides freedom for some people and it restricts the freedom of others. And it keeps so many people poor and oppressed. And it's California, right? That's what it is. But this is.
Okay. Wait a minute. All right. So I always hate when they say certain things that if you break them down logically are such absolute nonsense. And because what he just said, I wanted to address that, but let me go back and make sure
It's free in
what
the
he
end.
said.
It's common of others, and it keeps so many people poor and oppressed, and it's common.
Okay, so restricting someone's ability to film in a courthouse or any rules or regulations or statutes having to deal with filming keeps people poor and oppressed? Really? That's where poverty comes from? Is not being able to film in a courthouse? The logic of these idiots is illogical. And welcome, Uncle Artie. Good to see you back again. Uncle Artie. Oh, and Artska Union's here too. Good to see you playing rags. Welcome, guys. We're just looking at apparently I thought it was a new CH&TY video because it just got posted, but I guess it's a re-upload of an older video. But we're just watching him doing his same old stupidity and trying to fraud-splain to these cops exactly why he's doing what he's doing and just making himself sound dumber and dumber by the minute.
California, right? That's what it is. But this is free Indiana.
Don't think I believe that either. I'm just pandering to this guy. I've literally been charged with possessing a police scanner. So this is not free Indiana.
And while it's a public area, I feel like anybody should have the right to do anything as long as they aren't physically hurting, stealing, or vandalizing somebody else or their property. Because let's be honest, man, I mean, if you get to restricting what I can do in public, then that kind of sets a precedent. Like I can tell you what to do. And it's like, man, no other man should be, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell him what to do. I don't think that you guys as men should have the right to tell me, another man, what to do.
I didn't tell you, I asked you.
I get that, and I respect that. I'm just saying that, like, we're having a little debate, like, do you think that this should happen? And you think that I shouldn't be allowed to do this. And I respect that. That's why I actually have a solution.
What I'm saying is there has to be rules. Whether you're a kid at home, at school,
Yeah.
or any place.
Absolutely.
There has to be a certain amount of rules.
Yeah. Yep.
And is it so hard just to bend a little bit?
I mean, that's the thing, man, is like, I've got a certain political philosophy where I believe that everything should be private. We should abolish public property and public enterprise, and we should make it all private.
I mean, that's kind of like saying you can come in here and vandalize this building because it's your building.
Oh, I guess that would be a rule that we'd want to stop from happening in a courthouse in a public place, because the Constitution does not provide one shall not be restricted from vandalizing.
But
you know what I mean?
But I own a home.
Yes.
Can I vandalize my own home?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it against the law to vandalize my own home?
I don't think so. Is it?
You're 100% correct. So if this is my building,
it's all of ours building. And that's the thing with public property, is that it sets a huge gray area, man. Like what is allowed and what isn't allowed. So that's why the Constitution is there. It provides for things that the government cannot do. The Constitution doesn't say what the citizens can't do, because that's like, there's so many things, right? But the Constitution provides for what the government is not allowed to do. At least the Bill of Rights provides that. Now, the Constitution also provides for what the government can do, at least the federal government. The state, county governments, that's up to the state and county and the people of those places. But insofar as the Bill of Rights, they apply to the federal government and to the state government. So it only provides for what you guys can't do as far as that goes. And it's very specific, man. It's like, if I wanted to come in and vandalize, you'd be well within your rights to say, look, you're doing this to your property, but you're also doing this to everybody else's property. So that can't be allowed here on this public property. I shouldn't be allowed to vandalize somebody else's property.
Do you realize why we don't allow phones in the courthouse? Do you think it's because we're tyrants, or we don't want everybody and our brother sitting in a courtroom
recording?
Right.
And that's the thing, man, is I don't know. Like I can't say, I've never been in a courtroom recording, because you could be held in contempt of court if you do that. That would be, like I said, Rule 2.17. No area is immediately adjacent to the courtroom or in the courtroom. So I don't know what goes on in a courtroom that perhaps maybe a private citizen wouldn't want to see, or a public servant like a judge wouldn't want to see, wouldn't want to be seen, because I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like this video isn't going anywhere. There's still a lot of fraud splaining left, it looks like. So let's fast forward, because I'm sick of this too.
Right, and I appreciate that, because that's...
All right, whatever. Yeah, it looks like nothing happens. You go to the end, and it's just him trying to sell his merch. So we'll get out of that. He fraud splains forever. I got a request to play this new video over by there with Glenn Serio. Let's see. I haven't. Let's go ahead and check this one out. and see what he did here. This is from Ardeska Union. He's got 87 subs. He's been a good follower of mine for a long time. I appreciate the dude. Let's drop a like on there right now and check out what he's got.
I'm not sitting down. I refuse to sit down. I refuse. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing. You can come try to make me. You're welcome to try to make me. Take a swing. Take a swing. I've actually studied English, and I have over a 400 level education in English.
I'll take a double triple bossy deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style. Extra shingles with a shimmy and a squeeze. Light axle grease, make it cry. Burn it and let it swim.
That was awesome. Oh man. Oh, that was great. I loved that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh man. Oh, look at this. Look at who joined us this morning. I don't believe it. Look at this. Rogue Nation. How you doing there, buddy? Wow. That's wild. I guess thank you for joining us. I actually, you know what? If nothing else, I appreciate the fact that like all the interviews you've been doing and stuff, and popping up in chats. I like the fact that you're at least trying to, maybe attempt to bridge the gap a little bit here and there. I saw your interview with Blue Bacon, and I don't know if you remember during your interview with Troll, we actually talked a little bit. So thank you for joining us. Hey, everybody's welcome, no matter what side of the fence they're on. But yeah, that was hilarious, man. The way you took clips of Glenn's voice and then took that idiot from SpongeBob and showed how they're kind of the same. He's like a caricature from a cartoon. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let's see. Blue Bacon owned him. Yeah, that was what I liked about that was the fact that somebody didn't like Blue Bacon. But with the interview he did with Rogue Nation, I did like the way that he stayed calm and just tried to okay, so here's what's going on, and they went back and forth and did their thing, and that's all good. you know Did you, hey Rogue, if you're still in here, did you see the video I made about on you? Because I pointed out a couple things, like when you were being interviewed by Troll, I took some of the questions you asked and then like edited in some clips of yourself that kind of answered some of those questions. So um, hopefully you got that. Got the message I was trying to send there. Bacon Boy was on Dr. Phil trying to be a star. The dude's weird. Blue Bacon was on Dr. Phil a while ago. Yeah, I don't know too much about his past. I just know I like watching his videos. They're entertaining. Unlike when Audit Them gets interviewed. No, I'll have to watch it. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, one of my favorite bits in there, Rogue, is there was a point during the interview where you said something about why don't you give me an example of something I do that's antagonistic or something like that, and then I went to a clip of you telling a lady to call the ambulance, and then another clip of you like holding up a doll and saying, "Can you point to the doll and where you're hurt?" Like, oh yeah, that isn't antagonistic at all. That isn't rude or in any way condescending. That's sweet, polite. That comes from a place of love, right? Let's see. Bet you're a frauditor, idiot. Yes, they are. To each his own. Frank, I don't know. I don't know playing rags. I don't know what side of the fence they're on, but I do know that in general, there are some people who weren't too happy about Blue Bacon's appearance on Dr. Phil. So I don't know. Like I said, I have nothing to do with that. Um, what you do antagonize that frauditor? A frauditor handbook. Oh, see, I didn't bring it up. Uncle Artie did, but I did write a book about frauditors. It's called The Frauditor's Handbook: How to Suck at Life. This is legit. It's available on Amazon. There's a link in the description below. You want to check this out? If you're a frauditor, you keep one of these in your pocket. It's way better than a trifold. That's for sure. It'll help you more. And see, this proves it's legit. um, and it's got the, you know, so if you want to check one of those out, it's good stuff. It's funny. People seem to like it. When people ask stupid questions, they get stupid answers. Okay. Rogue confronts with silly actions. He's a frauditor. What do you expect? Yeah. Let's see. The Frauditor's Handbook distorts reality. It almost destroyed the world when Turd Snurdly read it. Yeah, I remember that. That opened a rift in the space-time continuum. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I don't know. Rogue, you wanna come up and have a bit of a conversation this morning? If not, I understand it's early and you probably weren't prepared for all that. I know I wasn't. I didn't have any idea you were going to show up. I got the chief of police of the trifold. Oh my goodness, that would definitely be something else. You're always down to chat. All right, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm about to have an impromptu conversation with Rogue Nation. Why not? Let's see. Oh, I am Poster Seven's leaving, so he doesn't have to listen to Rogue Nation talk. I'm sorry. I don't want to cause a problem. I wasn't expecting this. It came out of nowhere, and I like it. So I dropped a link in there if you want to click on that. See, maybe we could actually have a conversation. That might be fun. You know what? I got an idea. This might be interesting to do it this way. Let's see. There you go. All right. Rogue Nation, the only one to ever get arrested for putting a sticker on a street sign. Yeah, that was a whole nother situation there. Okay, let's see. All right, Major Lee Awesome. Let's get him up here. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little muffled, but I can hear you.
All right, is that better?
Yes. So hello. Welcome to the stream.
How you doing, Hezokuai?
I'm pretty good. Just trying to keep it going early in the morning. I've been doing this morning show for about a week now, and I think I'm going to stick with it. It's pretty good, working out well.
Yeah, it seems to be an open time when not a lot of other people are on.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what made me do it, because in the evening it seems like everybody's going, and most of the time I want to watch their streams. So I thought, well, why not just do the mornings?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So, like I said, I wasn't expecting this to happen, so I wasn't prepared. So I had an idea, because you said you didn't see the video I made on you. Would you be up to like us sort of watching it together, and then you could kind of respond to the stuff I put in there for you?
I mean, you can, or you can just tell me. I'm on my phone, so I can't really watch and talk at the same time.
I got you. I got you. All right. So let's see. I'm sorry. I was just looking at the chat for a minute there. Okay. So um, let's see what I could pull off the top of my head. Just trying to think back to some of the stuff that I covered and that I've heard you talk about before. Somebody in the chat mentioned the whole sticker on the sign thing. I don't even care about that. Obviously, that was what it was, and you had to deal with that. But one of the things that I've been interested in when it comes to you specifically is kind of like what I was saying, like with the ambulance thing or whatever. And your answer in the chat was, well, if you ask stupid questions, you get stupid answers. But when you do as many audits as you do, at this point, why would you be surprised by those types of reactions? I mean, obviously you're not, because you carry the doll, right? So they're going to approach you like that. So how is it, I guess, that we're supposed to believe that you're not looking for those kind of reactions intentionally?
Well, it's not that I'm looking for them. It's just that I know they're gonna come. So um, unfortunately, and I get slack from my subscribers as well. But unfortunately, sometimes I like to have a bit of fun. When you're going out, and what I do is when I go out, I start 8, 9 in the morning, and I go all day. Right. So by the end of the day, I've been to 15 buildings. I've heard stupid excuse after stupid excuse after stupid excuse, and it kind of wears on me. So I like to interject a little bit of humor into it. One time a lady asked me if that was a camera, and I told her no, it was a hoverboard.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess you can say it gets monotonous. Hearing the same stuff over and over again. Is that a camera? Are you recording? You're not allowed to be here. You're not allowed to record here. So after a while, yeah, I like to interject just a little bit of humor for myself. It's cool if other people find the humor in it or not. It doesn't matter because I'm the one that's actually out there for 8 hours a day while I'm doing this. So,
all right. Well, that's definitely an answer. Okay. And so the other thing, um, with that whole thing in general, like, because I get what you're saying, and um, you want to, like you said, you're doing this over and over, and it's the same thing over and over. So you want to try to do something to make it a little more fun or whatever. But at the same time, doing it over and over and getting the same reaction over and over. When I watch these videos, it always seems to lay this foundation for me where I see, like, going into a place looking for a reaction, going into a place looking for a reaction, going into a place looking for a reaction, and knowing that the reaction is going to come, right? But then the story, the idea, the narrative that you guys build always seems to be that you're on some big civil rights fight trying to get this stuff, for our freedoms and this and that. But it's like, other than you guys, like, okay, I understand that it shouldn't be constitutionally illegal to film in public. But other than you guys, who wants to? Who cares if you're not allowed to film in this place or not? Like,
well,
when it
not a
comes
lot of
to,
people.
right.
Not a lot of people, and that's the problem, Hezekiah. See, the right to free press, traditionally, if you actually read like some of the legal scholars throughout the years, the right to free press was the right to watch our government. Okay. And for
Right.
200 years plus, Americans have been too busy living their own selfish little life, right? It's all about me and what I can do for me and my family. And I don't have time to watch the government. Maybe I can dedicate, a couple of hours to learning about the candidates before I vote for them, or I'll just vote along party lines, right? Because my party's always the right one anyway, right? That's the way they look at it. So basically, now here we are, 2022. We're close to $200 trillion in debt. We have public officials that just do what they want and get away with it, basically. Or if they do get caught, they get, uh, horribly lighter sentences than any citizen ever would. And we're looking around, going, "How did we get here? How did we get to this America?" And the fact is that we were too busy with our own little lives. The distractions that government gave us in the form of freedom. As far as like 560 channels to watch on TV and all this other stuff. Um, and people are wondering how we got there, and they're not looking in the mirror and saying, it's my fault. It's partially my fault. Everybody's always pointing their finger. Oh, it's got to be, the Democrats' fault, or it's the Republicans' fault that we're here, and only if we vote a little bit harder will it change. Never once saying, hey, maybe I should take some responsibility and actually help keep an eye on what's going on. You know what I mean? Maybe I should take away some of my Facebook time or my YouTube time or my, video game playing time. And maybe I should, go down there and request some records, or maybe I should go down there and sit for a while and, see if I can see anything offhand. Nobody wants to do that. You know what I mean? Everybody's too busy doing their own little thing, and that's much more important. And I just don't feel that way. I feel like I said, a lot of the legal scholars and the founders felt, which is that the importance of the free press is to watch our government and then to report to our fellow citizens what our government's doing.
Okay. All right. So I get that. And that also goes back for me to one of the issues I have with this whole auditing movement is because a lot of, and this is one of the points I specifically was talking about when I covered you in one of my videos, but a lot of auditors do this is what I call false equivalencies, right? So, like, I get what you're saying, and this is a big part of the issue for me is because so many of the arguments you guys make, I can agree with. Like everything you just said, yeah, I see that, I understand that, but what that ultimately comes down to, if a lady who's sitting behind a desk and 8 hours a day, every day, all day, she, is doing stuff on her computer, somebody might come in and request something and they'll explain to them what to do it or whatever. And then you come in and this lady who's just doing her desk work, minding her own business says, "Oh, will you please not record me?" And all of a sudden you turn it into this big thing. And it's like, okay, so what is, I don't want to say harassing because I know you guys like to go off on the, well, what do you mean harassing? Blah, blah, blah. But what does filming someone who asks you not to film them have to do with anything that you just said? How does
Well,
basically pissing off some secretary in some building have anything to do with changing our freedoms and our rights and all that?
well, when I started, and I've always said it was like a two-part process, right? And the first part is getting the government and the people that work for the government acclimated to the fact that cameras can be allowed in those areas. Then once that is done, it's a lot easier for us to go in and document our experiences, like the record requests, questions that we may have, and such. Other than that, now a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, they're just a secretary here, or whatever, a town treasurer in a little town, and she's just a lady behind the desk." But one of the biggest robberies in government was a little lady sitting behind the desk that stole $54 million from a town that she grew up in and was treasurer of for 30 years in Ohio. She stole like $54 million. So just because someone's sitting behind a desk and you think that they're not capable of fraud or maybe even engaged in it themselves, actually holds no weight at all. You know what I mean? But I equate it to when a police officer leaves his car on the side of the road and walks away. We've all seen it. Okay. Does that police officer catch any speeders? Absolutely not, right? But it slows them down. So when we go in and we let them know, hey, we're allowed to do this, we're allowed to record, that might give them pause. Hey, people are watching, people do care. You know, they're starting to look at what we're doing. Maybe we should either stop or, you know, or something, you know what I mean? So that you know, that's one of my main points in doing this is that you know, I don't ever expect to walk into a building and see, you know, somebody reaching their hand into the cash register and, you know, pulling out money and shoving it into their purse. But I want to let them know, hey, I'm around, I'm watching, and we, you know, we will take action. We will bring this stuff to the public's attention. Now, a lot of times when I've gone to places, you know, and I've done my audit and haven't seen or caught nothing, I do get emails from people that will then tell me exactly what's going on in these places. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So without me going out there and auditing in the first place, for example, when I went up to Alabama, I had a ex-officer. He was a state trooper for his, you know, 20, 30 years, his whole life. He was a third generation state trooper. Okay. His father, his
Okay.
grandfather, all of them were state troopers, right? So this gentleman had to leave his hometown, which his hometown is named after his family, Hamilton, Alabama. And he had to leave to go do his duties as a state trooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back after all these years to his hometown to, you know, set up roots again or whatever, you know. And he tells me, he goes, you know, the first thing he said is that the local police don't like the state police, right?
Right.
So they tried messing with him. And he ended up getting the chief of police, a detective, and another police officer removed off the force. Okay, he had some information on him. He gave him to his buddy who was in the FBI. They ended up, you know, getting him out of there, right? So he
Mm-hmm.
tells me, you know, the next thing they did was they hired more idiots to take the place of those guys, right? So he calls
Okay.
me up after I do my audit, and he says, you know what? He goes, there's an officer here who was caught in another town with having child pornography on his computer. Okay. And per the usual blue line, he wasn't prosecuted. He was only let go of his job. And now, you know, my buddy, the ex officer, tells me that they've hired him in his town as an officer. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have an officer that had child porn on his computer. Okay. And this is verified. I've got the letter from the city council and the chief of police saying they don't want this guy here anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I go into town and I go to the police department and the sheriff's department. I say, hey, this guy had child porn on his computer. Do you guys know this? Did you do any background checks? Why is this guy working in a position of trust? You know what I mean? Because I know if some officer had child porn on his computer, I wouldn't want him as my school resource officer or being available if my child needed help or something. You know what I mean? That's not the guy I want my child running to, right?
Right.
So because of me going up there and asking those questions or whatever, my cop buddy sends me a text message and says, hey, I don't know what you did, but they're kicking that guy out. The chief of police is getting, you know, going to retire, and a couple other good things. So, I mean, even though people, because you know, I understand watchdogs and the people that watch the watchdogs, they don't watch my videos, right? And so a lot of the information they get about me or my videos is basically generalizations based on what the worst of us do, like, you know, pepper spraying old ladies and you know, standing outside of restaurants and, you know, just, you know, straight stupidity, right? So
Yeah.
I get lumped in with all those guys, and nobody ever, watches my videos to see, hey, Rogue Nation just put up 2 passes the other day. You know what I mean? The people were kind and respectful. He was kind and respectful. Um, I mean, I've done passes where the city liked it so much, I made the front page of the local newspaper. But you don't ever hear about that on watchdog channels. You know what I mean? Because that defeats the narrative that everybody that doing this is bad and we're just terrible and we just want money and we're losers who live at bombs and never had a job, and you know what I mean? So
Well, okay, so I get your point, and I do. And once again, I understand what you're saying and the general idea. And yes, I definitely would not put you. In fact, again, not just trying to prop up my own stuff, but I even made a video series called The Frauditor Iceberg, where I sort of went through like, yeah, you got your people at the tip of the iceberg who I didn't put you specifically on the list, but like in general, the idea like going into a public business or a city hall or something, as opposed to the dregs who go and audit churches and restaurants and just harass people in general and all that. So I definitely differentiate you from those guys. But essentially, like what you're saying, right? So why, if that's specifically what you're trying to do, why not just go in there and not draw attention to yourself with all these cameras and all this stuff, like as if you were looking for a confrontation? Why not go in there and politely make your FOIA requests and this and that and get that paperwork? And then if there is a discrepancy in there, you can find it and then post those findings, as opposed to the findings are you being rude to the people who work there because they're your servants and they need to do what you tell them because you pay their salary.
well, I mean, if you watch a majority of my videos, I never speak until I'm spoken to. So it's usually not me being rude. I'm not Ansamo. I don't walk in and say, "Hey, do you know what the Third Amendment is?" Or you know what I mean? Like most of the times when I walk in, I'm quiet. I keep to myself. I video the walls, public information, and then it's usually somebody that steps to me with, again, what are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here. You're not allowed to record. And then after that, I let them know, hey, I'm allowed to be here. This is protected. Um, that sort of thing. Again, not everybody's going to like what I do, and again, that's the part of what I consider the greatness of America, is the fact that we're all allowed to have different opinions and voice our different opinions and stuff like that. So I have no problem with people that don't care for my videos. I figure that's just like people that don't care for the Backstreet Boys. You know what I mean? Doesn't
Well,
mean that the
yeah.
Backstreet Boys are wrong. You know what I mean? It just means that some people just totally hate the Backstreet Boys. But that's okay. The Backstreet Boys sleep just fine at night, and so do I. Again, I'm not out to please everybody. I'm out to do, a certain thing, and that's for me. You know what I mean? Like, no amount of people commenting on my videos that I'm a loser or I need to get a job or whatever is never going to change my mind. No amount of videos that you guys put out are ever going to change my mind or make me stop. So, I mean, I appreciate, the fact that, and what I find funny too, Hezekiah, about the watchdog community, especially like people like Frauditor Troll. He's not out to expose anybody. He's out to make as much money as he can. That's why he pumps out 4 videos a day. I mean, only an idiot would not see that he's using our videos to make him money. Not that he wants to expose us and say we're bad people. No, he wants to use our videos because he's a fat, lazy bastard, and he wants to use our videos to make money on. That's exactly what he does. That's the only thing he does. I mean, and when you're talking about exposing people, you've got people out there, uh, how many times do I need to be exposed? You know what I mean? Like, if you've got somebody like Schrodinger's cat who is actually exposing people, and if he's exposing people to thousands and thousands of people, how is somebody going to come along with 5,000 subs and expose Anybody. They've already been exposed. What are you exposing that hasn't been exposed? You know what I mean? Like there's no exposing going on because those 5,000 people already seen it on Schrodinger's cat. They've already seen it on Masshole Report. You know what I mean? Like, okay, vilified freedom, another one. The guy's grifted more than any auditor I know. Got a $25,000 house, got a new truck, got a new motorcycle. I mean, seriously, let's talk about grifting, shall we?
Well, okay, so now you're starting to like open these other cans, and it's like, all right, like talking about comparing you to other auditors, and I just went through this whole thing where I'm like, I definitely don't group you in with those guys, but now you're just taking all of, and the whole watchdog thing is like whatever, but like Frauditor Troll, for example, he does a lot of things other than just make videos of you guys. All right. And vilified Schrodinger, well, you actually said nice things about Schrodinger, so I won't jump on you for that. But the idea, at least for me, and why I'm doing this is it isn't just about like, well, if they already made a video of it, it's already been exposed. Well, then I could turn that around and say, well, you've already made a video about a public building, so that's already been exposed. Like, there's always more going on, so there's always more to cover, right? It's like, again, you want to be a journalist, you want to be press. Well, there's new stories every day. Well, if we're doing the same thing, and there's new videos that you guys post every day. And as far as making money off of auditor videos, my answer to that always was and always will be the same idea conceptually, which is if I say I don't like being filmed and you film me anyway, and I ask you not to put me on your channel and you put me on anyway, because you legally have the right to do that, well, thanks to fair use, I legally have the right to use your videos as long as I, do it the way I do it. So if
Right. I
you
mean,
can do it, then why can't we?
well, right. I mean, two wrongs always make a right. That's what I've always heard, and
Oh, no.
and you guys are talking about how wrong it is to be harassing these people and putting them on camera, and then you guys show the same people that was wrong for me to put on camera on your channel. So now they get double the exposure, right?
Well,
so definitely two wrongs make a right. I agree with you.
no, that's not. See, and that's the other thing that, auditors are expert at is twisting things and talking in circles and all of this stuff, right? But again,
Well, how is it? How is that twisting, Hezekiah? Let me explain it to me. If I record a lady and she says she doesn't want to be recorded, right? And then 2 days later, I come to your channel and there's my video of the lady saying that she doesn't want to be recorded on your video. How is that twisting words?
because what I advocate for is to help these people find these videos so they will know where to go to say, hey, look, this guy is making money off of my image without my permission, and they refuse to tell me who they are or what their channel is, so I don't know where to find it. Maybe they'll find it through mine, and then they could say, oh, okay, this is the person who's using my image without my permission to make money off of me. And again, it isn't about two wrongs make a right. It's about the argument. And this is what I mean by twisting words. It's like the argument that you guys make, when you break it down logically, it always falls apart. Okay, the argument is it's okay for me to do this because it's legal. It has nothing to do with the specifics. It's okay for me to do it because it's legal. Well, then it's okay for us to do it because it's legal. Like the argument.
Right. I'm not saying it's not okay, Hezekiah. I'm just saying it's a bit hypocritical, but yeah, it's legal and it's okay.
Right. Right.
So you don't see that? Like you don't see how putting the lady on who didn't want to be recorded on your video is just as bad as me putting it on my video? Because didn't want to be on the internet?
Yeah, but at that point, she already is.
She already is, and you direct her to my channel because she could say, "Oh, this guy put me on. I didn't want to be on." Ask me how many times
I'm sorry, I lost you. I think we lost him.
No, I hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. Yeah, I can now.
Okay. So even though you guys, say, "Hey, this is Rogue Nation's channel and you can find them here," I've been sued exactly 0 times for using a person's image. The same that a news channel has never been sued when they capture somebody's image walking by in their broadcast.
Well, but see, again, there you go with like the false equivalencies. Like if oh wait, yeah, if somebody is filming someone or they're okay, so and I use this example, right? You're outside and you see something that's really cool looking and you film it and somebody walks by and you catch them, cool, like I get it. That's why there's no expectation of privacy in public, right? Because they just happen to walk within the frame of your film. But when you're specifically purposely going out of your way to film someone, then that's how is that the same as somebody who just happens to incidentally be there?
Well, it's the
It's
same
not.
thing because it follows the same principle that when you're out in public, there's no expectation of privacy. So for it to be commercial, I would have to use that image in like advertising or some kind of commercial endeavor, like a motion picture. You know what I mean? Like I would have to make the city official like the star of my movie. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it's ridiculous.
you
It's
guys make
ridiculous.
yourself the star.
Well, I mean, I'm hardly ever on my own camera, but I think you're thinking more like Delete Laws. He's the star of his show.
Oh, that see. Okay,
That that
that
that guy
is
that guy that guy creeps me out. But um,
that's one thing I think both sides of the fence can at least come together and agree on one thing, that delete laws is garbage.
yeah, he's always been garbage. We knew that
Yeah.
from the moment he stepped into or tried to step into the community, and he's been like a fringe player ever since. At least
Yeah.
to the people that I know, never took him seriously. But um, some people take him seriously, and that's for them. The thing about America is great is we get to choose what we want to do, what we want to watch, who we want to support, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So um, I know people hate it that people enjoy what I do and support me, but that's their right. That's their freedom too. You know what I mean? If I put up a GoFundMe link, like if you guys put up a GoFundMe link or a tip jar or whatever you guys do, a Patreon or memberships. I don't have memberships on my site, so I know a lot of the watchdog groups have memberships and stuff like that. So it's no different. People want to support you and what you do. People want to support me and what I do.
Oh yeah. Well, again, I've never had any problem with the are never whether or not someone is trying to make a living or trying to make money off of their work or off of their content. I mean, that's part of the whole game, right? If what do you want to do for a living? I want to make videos. There's nothing wrong with that. People want to get paid for what they enjoy. That's the goal, right? The American dream. But ultimately, the point becomes like understanding that there's this movement out there that is based on a lot of ideas that come from one, people who don't know what they're talking about, two, uh, basic con man techniques, and three, again, false equivalencies and false narratives, right? So when I'm watching these videos and I see, like, for example, and not referring specifically to you, but just in general, like, you watch a video, and if you watch it, what you see is like two cops standing, literally. If you just watch a video with no sound, all you see is just two cops standing. But then you turn on the audio and you listen to the narration, and they're tyrants and they're violating my rights, and this is horrible. And look at what these idiots are doing, and how terrible and stupid and tyrannical these cops are. And but you just watch the video and you see two guys that are police that are literally not doing anything. And you read the comments and they're fans. Again, you want to support somebody, that's fine, that's your right, I don't have a problem with that, but it's just it doesn't make sense because they're buying the narrative, right? They say, I can't believe those tyrants did that to you. Did what? Asked you for an ID? So what? Like, if they were tyrants, they would get the ID whether you liked it or not. But 90% of the time, it's an ID refusal, and they leave without ever giving their ID. So where's the horrible tyranny? Where's the badness? Where's the craziness?
Well, I mean, the tyranny is there is the fact that they even ask for or something that they don't have a right to even ask for.
So they don't have freedom of speech?
Officers?
Anyone who's an American citizen.
No, public officials don't have the same rights that citizens do while they're in their job. Okay, you can test this out yourself by asking any officer who they voted for. Okay, they're not allowed to tell you. Okay, and the reason they're not allowed to tell you is because their freedom of speech is curbed while they're in official capacity. Okay, this is basic civics. Okay,
Well, but I mean, that could apply to anything. I've worked in call centers. If somebody called me and said, yes, I'm calling because I want to renew my insurance, I couldn't say, oh, well, kiss my ass. Like, I'd be fired on the spot, but that doesn't mean that I don't have rights.
Right, I understand, but your freedom of speech is curbed, is it not?
Well, to the extent, but I mean, it's not. The point is,
Because
it's not like because I'm a
conditions of your
civil
employment.
servant. It's yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if Walmart has a policy that employees can't chew gum, can a citizen walk into Walmart chewing gum?
Well, of course.
Okay,
But
so we understand that in order to have a job, we have to abide by their policies, even though they may restrict our rights, right? Like truck drivers aren't allowed to carry guns, right? Even though they have the Second Amendment, right?
yes, jobs have rules, of course.
Okay, so if we want to keep that job, we have to follow the rules, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's the same thing as in public service. Okay, they have rules they have to follow. They have a higher standard that they have to meet, obviously, with dealing with the public. Just like, okay, for me, example, I work in the service industry, right?
Yeah.
I get assholes at my bar all day long. Okay, they treat me like shit. Whatever. I have to look and I have to smile at them. You know what I mean? And have a great day, sir. Sorry your day's been bad so far. Thank you for being an asshole to me. Okay, are we saying that our public officials should be exempt from being nice to assholes?
Well, first of all, if you're in a bar, that's different. And second, I've watched enough auditor videos to see tons of cops being nice to assholes, like all the
Right.
time.
I understand that, but isn't the default to be respectful, right?
Okay, yes, but here, how we got into this was talking about the whole ID thing, right? And you're saying that they have no right to even ask for ID in the first place, and that's why it's tyranny. But what I'm saying is, okay, so again, logically breaking it down, thinking about it, all right? I have to write a report. Okay, you went to such and such place. Okay, and you came into contact with, and you put the person's name, right? So they know they're going to have to write that down. So they ask you for ID, so they can put down who they spoke to, right? So you refuse to ID, which obviously you legally have the right to do because so many ID refusals exist. Obviously, that's a thing. But they're not sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to violate this guy's rights by asking him for ID. This is going to be great. No.
No, of course they don't think that. And the reason they don't think that is because so many Americans willingly give up their ID when asked. You know what I mean? So they've come to expect it. Listen, if you go into a store every day and the guy gives you a cookie for free, you begin to expect that cookie every day you go in, right? So when an officer's out there on the road and he's doing his job, and every citizen he passes, he just says, "You look suspicious, citizen. Let me see your ID." And these guys just fumble in their pocket as fast as they can to give them their fucking ID. Then soon the officer believes that it is his right. Okay. And I've documented this on many videos where the officer says, no, in this, in this state, you absolutely have to give ID when an officer asks. All right. That's what they think because that's the norm now. Right. Like one officer in particular, when I got arrested in Alabama, I said, the statute doesn't require me to give you ID. Oh, in the state of Alabama, when an officer asks you to give ID, you need to give ID. That's the law. You know what I mean? So basically what we have now is we have officers, okay, that don't understand the basic law. Okay. It's if you're an officer, the law that you use most every day of your career is the identification law. Okay. And for them not to know it is the same as me as a bartender not knowing what a rum and a Coke is, or you as a carpenter not knowing what a hammer is. Okay. These are basic tenets of our job. Okay. And so when they don't know it, there's an issue. That's an issue.
So, as a bartender, do you have a legal right to ask people for their ID to make sure they're over 21?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, all right, obviously you're going to, because you want to compare all these things and make these false equivalencies. So, I'm not going to try to do that. But let's, again, every time, if you break it down logically and think about it, like what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but you paint it in this way where it's like, I have to tell you that it's a fact. And I'm not just saying this so that because it supports my narrative, it's true. If I leave right now and I walk to my local gas station and I buy something and I walk back home, the way you guys paint your picture, I'm probably going to get stopped 6, 7 times and ID'd for no reason. And I guarantee you that's not going to happen. No matter how many cops I pass up, nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to ID me. That doesn't just happen. It doesn't. Because if it did, then how come I can walk and nobody bothers me?
Yeah, I never said it did happen. I don't know where you got that, but
because you're saying like if someone's walking down the street and the cop asks for ID, they're just going to give it to you. What cops are walking up to people and asking for ID just because they're walking down the street? When does that happen? It doesn't.
I mean, it does happen. I'm not saying it happens to me or it happens a lot, but to say it doesn't happen is ignoring, the videos of
there are no
that
absolutes in anything, right? I understand that, but the point is, it always seems to me like all you guys always seem to paint this picture that like if you leave your house, you're either going to have 50 frauditors sticking their cameras in your face because there's no expectation of privacy in public, or you're immediately going to get tackled and beat down by the cops. And we got to go out there and fight against that. What are you talking about? That's not a thing. Yes, it happens. Anything happens, but it's not this big major thing. Like I said earlier, right? If everything you're saying is absolutely correct and true and what you're fighting for and what you're trying to do, then why not go in there, get your forms, get them there, and then research them to see if you find any discrepancies. And if you do, then report on that. Make a video about, because I always see these guys making all these FOIA requests. And sometimes once in a while, they might put a FOIA that they received on their community page. But I don't see videos where they're reporting on their findings. I don't see like, hey, you know what? I just caught this lady stealing this money, but it's always the video of them asking for the forms. It's never what they actually do with the forms, and it's again, I understand what you're saying. Well, we want to hold the government agencies accountable, but just filming random people who work in there, how does that hold anything into account? It doesn't. It just creates content.
Right. doesn't. Again, the same way that a police car sitting on the side of the road doesn't catch a speeder.
Going back to where it slows them down. All right. So the only thing that I see happening is what you guys are actually teaching people, what you guys are actually educating people is that they don't like being filmed by you guys. And then when a guy walks in with a camera, oh boy, here we go again. Another one of these guys that's going to give me a hard time for no reason. Like, that isn't stopping them from doing anything either.
Right. Again, like I said, I never expect to catch these guys when I go in with my camera. Usually I get emails or calls or something after I've left that detail what needs to be investigated in that area.
And then another thing I don't want to, this is a whole can of worms, so I don't want to get too deep into this, but it is something you were involved in, so I am going to mention it. And I have heard you, that's another reason why I don't want to get too deep into it, because I have heard you address this before, but just for my own understanding of exactly where you're coming from with this, the whole Uvalde meeting thing. And I've heard people talk to you about the idea that if I understand that, because that's the other part of it, like, because I don't want to come off like I just think that the police handled the situation perfectly. Obviously, anyone who watched everything going on can agree that there's issues there. I'm not denying that. Okay. But the idea, when looking at the arguments that you guys make and that I've heard you make as well, the whole argument that the police have no duty to protect citizens, all of a sudden it's like this big major idea when you're doing your thing, but when it comes to the cops actually having to protect citizens, then how dare they not do that?
Right. Well, there's a difference between adults and children. I think we can both agree on that. And while the courts have stated that the cops have no duty to protect, I mean, I think it comes down to basic, just being a good human. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of what the courts have said, and whatever the officer feels, when children are in danger, I believe it's everybody's duty, not just the officers, but everybody's duty to protect them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, and again, if it's not your duty to protect citizens, that's fine. We can obviously cut out, all the cost of this expensive, riot gear and all this other stuff, because you're not out there to protect us, right? You're just out there to enforce the law. So all you need really is a pair of handcuffs, right? Because you just arrest people that break the law. You don't need armor, carrying personnel. You don't need these big MRAPs that all the, towns have now, that they only use for parades. You know what I mean? Well, we don't need that kind of cost, since obviously you're not there to protect us, right?
I get what you're saying.
Okay. So if your job is only to enforce the law, and not protect citizens, then yeah, we need to reevaluate it, because a lot of citizens believe that the officers are there to protect people. They even put it on their cars, to protect and serve, right?
Yeah.
So why are you lying to us? Okay, you don't have to protect us. Why are you lying to us? Okay, you got it right on your fucking car. If I put on my car, my duty is to give out free money, and you come up to me and I don't give you free money, I'm fucking lying, ain't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would you put to protect and serve on your car when you don't protect shit? When you don't have to protect shit? When it's not even your job to protect shit?
Well, I think that's something that, again, can be sort of twisted and used getting into wordplay basically, right? Because if
No, you're
you
right,
are,
because they do protect. They protect the corporate interests.
oh
And they
boy, here we
protect the
go.
government entities. No, they do. I mean, when the riots go down, do they protect citizens, or do they stand in front of like the bank and the courthouse and the city hall? I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, there's no lying, there's no getting around it. We all know where the cops set up to protect. I've been at the riots in LA and the protests and stuff like that. So I know exactly what they protect.
All right, so again, um, this is always one of my biggest pet peeves with this whole movement. And when I talk about false equivalencies and false narratives and this and that, is this idea like you do it a lot. Craig from CH and Tie Audits does it a lot. A lot of guys on your side of the fence do it. It's always bringing up these things that are obviously bad, right? It's like, well, if somebody got shot, wouldn't that be terrible? Or if the cops didn't protect somebody, wouldn't? Well, yeah, of course, we can agree on that. But again, what does any of that have to do with walking into a building, filming a secretary, and she says, "Oh, please don't film me." You say, "Well, I have the right to film you, so I'm going to, whether you like it or not." Like, you don't like it? Call the ambulance. Like,
Right, or
what does
go
any
work
of
in
that
the
have to do
private
with what you're
sector.
talking about? But auditors audit private sector jobs too. That's the thing. I just covered a guy doing a Tesla dealership. Amagansett Press. That's all he does is jewelry stores at banks and private thing. So going to a private business job isn't going to stop you from being filmed by an auditor because they're everywhere now. NC Tyrant
Well,
Hunter. All he does is private businesses.
right. I understand that. And again, I don't veer off into that aspect rarely, if at all. But the point is that Americans are video recorded 40 to 70 times per day. Every day they're outside their home. Okay. They're recorded on the street. They're recorded by dash cams, door cams, traffic cams, all these different cameras, right? There's no expectation of privacy in public. When I go into a public building, the government has 20 cameras on me. Okay. So while it's, you know, seems logical that the government can watch us, it's sort of illogical, supposedly, that we would want to watch the government, and it's such a detriment to society that we want to record our public officials, even though they record us. It's somehow, totally just disrespectful to record them.
All right, again, back to false equivalencies. Your security cameras are there for a very specific reason and go to a very specific purpose. Do they have the potential to possibly be used in a different way? Yes, but that's not the purpose. But when you go into a place filming with your personal camera, and especially you won't answer any questions, they have no idea what your purpose is. How do they know you're not a pervert just filming the girl so that you could go home and give yourself a good time? Like, how do they know that you're not going to re-edit it and put it on OnlyFans? Or they have no idea, and especially if you won't answer any questions, how could they possibly know?
They don't know. And and again, in America with freedom, it doesn't matter what the purpose is I'm using the video for. Okay. You can't pre-crime shit. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, because he's got a camera, he must be a creeper. Okay. And so I'm going to stop him from exercising his rights because of what may happen or what he might do.
See, there again, I don't feel comfortable being filmed. Okay.
Well, I
All
don't
right.
feel comfortable being filmed either, Hezokuai. Well,
No, I'm trying to make a point though. Okay, like analogy. All
shut
right,
off their
like you
cameras
walk in.
when I
No. What I'm saying is, you walk into a place, and the person
camera.
there tells you that they don't feel comfortable being filmed, right? you're painting
Mhm.
that as they're trying to force you to turn your camera off illegally. No, they're just telling you they don't like being filmed. But you cannot
Okay,
respect that.
no, that's duly noted. I mean, they're more than welcome to go sit in the break room or go hide behind somewhere if they feel like it.
Yeah, but why should they have to?
Because it's my right to come in there with a camera, and no
So
amount
what?
of feelings, no amount of
Ugh.
feelings trumps my rights. Okay.
So you
What
have
if a
no
racist
empathy.
what if a racist worked at that city hall? And what if a black man came in and they felt uncomfortable? Should we remove that black man?
False equivalencies again. That has nothing to
Oh
do with what
Jesus.
we're talking
Everything's
about.
a false equivalency to you, brother.
No, everything
There's
you
nothing
say
there's
is.
nothing
That's how
that
you
there's
talk.
right. There's nothing that is the same. There's nothing that equals the same as what I'm talking. There's
No,
no
there are
equivalent, all
legitimate
right?
equivalencies, but like you're bringing
Okay, well,
up
give me
things
one.
that.
Give me one. Give me one on that scenario. Give me one on that scenario. Then give me your right equivalency on that scenario.
All right,
Logically, like you said.
here's one that I like to use. Okay, and it's slightly different subject wise, but it's one of my
Well, no, it's got
standards.
to be equivalent. It's got to be equivalent.
It is. It is. It is. The idea to me of what you guys always say is the equivalent to I want to educate my wife that technically cheating on your wife is not illegal. I'm not going to be locked up in prison for cheating. So I'm going to bring a girl home and screw her in front of my wife to educate her that it's legal to cheat. You're educating them that it's legal to film, even if they don't like it, by filming them when they don't like it.
Well, I mean, I guess that depends on how strong your vows are. I guess, wouldn't it? I mean, isn't marriage a contract?
Yeah, but the point is morally, ethically, every other way except for legally, it's not cool. It's not okay. It's the same thing. If somebody tells you they don't like being filmed, you can't just respect the fact that they don't like being filmed. You have to film them even more because you legally can. So, because you legally can, that makes it okay? Like, that idea just boggles my mind.
It's not just legally okay. Again, it's part of our civic duty to watch these people in these positions. I mean, again, it's hard to understand unless you've read. Okay, let me give you an example. Cooley's General Principles of Constitutional Law. Okay, in there he states that anybody that is applying for these public positions need to be held accountable, need to be under the microscope, okay, and need to be brought to the public's attention because unlike me filming John Doe walking down the street, these people in some way, shape, or form control our lives. Okay.
Right. Oh,
So,
control your life. Okay.
yeah, the government controls your life in case you didn't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the only ones that pass laws. They're the only ones that
Right.
enforce laws. They
Mhm.
control your life. You know what I mean? They can tell you if you can't smoke 25 feet in front of a door. They're the ones that tell you, you can't drive too fast down the road. They control your life. Absolutely. 100% in every country in the world, the government is the one in control of your life.
Wow. So I have no free will and I don't make any decisions about anything?
Yeah, make a free choice to smoke crack in front of the White House. See how that works out for you.
They're lines, man. It's called society. Society wouldn't function without rules. It would just be it would be like the purge. It'd be worse. That's just a movie. In real life, it'd be even worse. You see how people act when there are rules. Imagine what they'd do if there were none.
Right. I didn't
They would,
say that there didn't have to be any rules. And again, it's always nice to say society has decided on these rules. But when you really look at it, it's really the government that decides on these rules. Let me give you an example of that. Back in 2008, the banks needed a bailout. Okay. 80% of society was against the bailouts. What happened? Did society win, or did the banks get bailed out?
Well, ultimately, um, well, again, that's a whole different subject. I could spend a 3 hour podcast just talking about that. Because again, that's what makes it difficult. See, but let me say this. So I want to make something absolutely clear. Like when I've made my videos on you and when I've talked to you on Trolls channel and all this stuff, like agree or disagree, I like the fact that you are willing to actually have a conversation, and I appreciate and respect that. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. But um, at the same time, it always seems to be this, like, bringing up something that's obviously, like, I'm gonna say yes or I'm gonna agree, like, yeah, that's messed up that the government did that, yeah, that's messed up that okay, that experiment that the government did with people on with LSD back in the 50s, was that wrong? Well, yeah, of course it was, but the point is we can all agree that there are problems and that we need to do things to try and solve these problems, and we need to work together as a society to try and deal with these issues. But again, holding public officials accountable, watching them, filming a lady sitting behind a desk typing, how does that have how does that have anything to do with any of this? Who cares? You want to know what they're doing? Go ahead, use your FOIA rights to FOIA their information and investigate them and see what's up. But just going out of your way to film them, especially if they ask not to be filmed, how is that accomplishing any of your stated goals? It isn't.
It absolutely is. It's getting acclimated to the camera. So that way, when
Right.
we come in to FOIA request and to ask questions about, whatever we find in the FOIA request, we're not getting carted off to jail. Okay.
And
Because
so
when we
how
go
many
into a
times is that?
building for the first time, huh?
How many times have people been carted off to jail for making a FOIA request? I've never heard of that.
It happens all the time if you have a camera, my friend.
Well,
Go
but
go
I
into
mean,
go into your city hall to do a FOIA request and record and see if they don't try to cart you off to jail.
you said that people were getting arrested for making FOIA requests. Now you're talking about filming, which is a different thing. It's usually trespassing because they don't want you to film and they ask you to leave and you don't leave.
Right. Well, understand that when when it's a citizen against the government, okay, the government's always going to take the word of its agents, right? So if I go in to do a FOIA request, okay, and I do the FOIA request, and they say, okay, we got 10 days to respond to you or whatever, and I have no evidence of that, okay, then they can just say, well, you never came in to do a FOIA request. We didn't get that FOIA request. You know what I mean? But if I've got video evidence of it, it's a lot harder for them to say, well, you didn't do a FOIA request. We didn't see you. We don't know anything about it. It's also to document the way these people treat citizens. Like if you go to Google Maps, okay, and you pick any city in the country that you want, it doesn't matter. And you pick any government building and you go and you look at the reviews and you read the actual reviews that people without cameras have left. Okay, because if they would have had cameras, there'd be video of it. But if you read the reviews of people that leave these reviews, you'll see that these people, in a lot of instances, are treated like shit. You know what I mean? So, in order to make sure that doesn't happen, if we go in and record, and if we are treated like shit, then we could bring that up to the other citizens and say, hey, these people that work at your city hall, they treat people like shit. Here's the evidence. Do with it what you will. If you want people to act like this, and you are okay with that, then fine. That's each municipality and their citizens. That's their own deciding point if they want people that act like assholes in there. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I don't want people that act like assholes in my city government. I want people respectful. I want people that instead of beating around the bush with FOIA requests, give out the FOIA requests, shit like that. And if that doesn't happen, then we could take it from there. We can address it through either the mayor or whoever's the lead guy in charge. And if he doesn't handle it, then we could go through the voting process. But to sit here and say, yeah, man, there's all kinds of shit wrong with the government, and I'm just going to let them figure it out because I've got Facebook to get on, and I've got to take my kids to soccer practice, and I got to work 80 hours a week because the goddamn taxes are so high, and I don't understand why the taxes are so high because I never watch government, so I don't understand where all this money's going. But if you took like 30 seconds out of your day to FOIA their credit card records, and you see that they're throwing parties for themselves every month with thousands of dollars spent on barbecue food and all this other shit, then maybe you'd understand. But I mean, if you're not doing anything about it, if you're saying, oh, well, the people that are trying to do something about it are wrong, I mean, is anything going to change? Is anything going to change in that scenario? I mean, what have you done, Hezekiah, to keep your government accountable?
See, this is the thing.
How many city meetings have you gone to in the last year, Hezekiah?
City meetings. Okay. First of all of this is about like how you hold them accountable, right? What methods you use to do so. And you're challenging like, oh, well, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? It's like, well, you know what? What I'm doing is I'm taking care of me, I'm taking care of my family, and I'm coming on here and I'm showing what is going on out there, right? And what's being done.
So
I mean, you talk about standing up for rights.
Nothing.
How about my right? No, I am. I'm posting videos because of my freedom of the press that I have to report on you guys. See, I'm actually
okay. So you agree that we're press then? Because you're press, right?
Using my
That's
rights
what you just said.
to keep them strong.
Huh?
I just lost my connection.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to wrap this up because my boy just woke up. Say hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm not. See, I'm not chickening out. He's here for real. So now I got to go take care of that, make breakfast and stuff. Anyway, you know what? I did not expect this. Thank you for coming on. I actually enjoyed talking to you like this. It's educational, definitely. So for now, I have to wrap this up. I'm sorry to just cut it off like that, but yeah,
No,
he needs his
absolutely.
Pokemon
I got
cards.
stuff to do as well.
All right,
we both have families, it seems. So I got to take my little girl to her speech class. So, yeah, thanks for having me up. I'm always down to have a discussion without name calling and stuff like that. And I'm always around. So, I mean, if you have any questions, just ask.
Well, yeah, but like I always say, agree or disagree. If we can have discourse and talk it out. That's great. That's what America's all about. Wait, now.
Like and subscribe from the
all right.
so you don't
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, guys. Well, that turned out interesting. I wasn't expecting him to show up, but he did, and cool. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I got to go make breakfast, get these kids taken care of for the day started, and thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh, yay, yay. Yeah, I know. He always does. He does what he does. All right. Yay, yay.